very warm welcome to yet another interesting edition of the program CAC Weekly, a weekly program that keeps you abreast on the activities and the achievement of the Corporate Affairs Commission. I am Amina Jibril. And coming up on the program, CAC wins MSME Awards 2022. Also, CAC makes list of agencies set to take Nigeria to the world's top 20 public service agencies by 2025. Plus, we X-ray limited partnership, a new form of business registration. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after this break.
Nigeria has signed different international commitments to promote transparency, fight corruption, and money laundering. Two of these international bodies of note are the Open Government Partnership and the Extractive Industry Transparency Initiative. We have a local office of the native in Nigeria, which focuses on the extractive sector. Part of the requirements of these bodies is countries must have a public register of beneficial owners of companies so that any interested person can actually search the register and know who owns what. In Nigeria, our legal framework is modeled after the United Kingdom system of persons with significant control. We didn't want to narrow it to just share ownership or voters' right, because somebody may not be a shareholder on the record, but he may have control and influence over the way and manner the company is managed. The register is publicly available and is deliberate because, if you recall, Mr. President made a commitment at the 2016 London Anti-Corruption Summit, precisely on 16th of May 2016, that Nigeria was going to have a publicly available register of beneficial owners of companies.
Welcome back to the program. We begin today with another milestone achievement for the CAC, as the federal government has given an award to the Corporate Affairs Commission in recognition of its support for the development of the MSME sector in the country. Now, the award was received by the Registrar General and CEO of the Corporate Affairs Commission, Alhaji Garba Abubakar, at a public presentation of a photo book, Buhari Oshimbajo, the MSME Story, at the Banquet Hall, State House, Abuja. Speaking on behalf of all the awardees, Alhaji Garba Abubakar thanked the federal government for the recognition and pledged to rededicate themselves to service. Garba Abubakar, who recalled the flag-off of the National MSME Clinic in Aba in the year 2016, stressed the need for the continuation of the program to ensure the formalization of more small businesses across the nooks and crannies of the country.
I must also commend and thank the two honorable ministers for their leadership, for giving us all the support in the discharge of our responsibilities, in the discharge of our mandate. And the clinics have not ended. I believe there are more to be done, and will be a continuous exercise. Most organizations are now fully digitized, but not every ordinary person has access to digital platform. So the need for these physical clinics will still be necessary. Thank you so much, and thank you for the award. Thank you, sir.
Speaking earlier, Vice President Yemi Oshimbajo, represented by Boss Mustafa, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, noted with delight the successes recorded by the MSME clinics since inauguration. Yemi Oshimbajo in particular noted with delight the successes recorded by entrepreneurs like Mustafa Abubakar Gajibo, MSME winner 2022, who is changing society after becoming the first person to make electric vehicles in Nigeria and Africa despite dropping out of the university, and Ifeoluwa Olatayo, MSME Award winner 2019, an award-winning entrepreneur with a background in agriculture and climate adaptation. Also speaking was the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Otumba Niya Debayo, who applauded President Muhammadu Buhari's commitment to the growth of the MSME sector in Nigeria. In her remarks, the Minister of State, Industry, Trade and Investment, Ambassador Mariam Yelwaji Katagum, who reviewed the book, noted with satisfaction that the present administration's tremendous achievements in growing the sector were being documented in style. Other speakers at the event included the United Nations Deputy Secretary General Amina Mohammed, Kano State Governor Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, Nexim Bank Managing Director Abba Bello, and the Chief Launcher and Chairman of the BOA Group, Abdul Samad Isiaq Rabiu, who was represented by Dr. Aliyu Idi Hong, a former Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment. Now, CAC Weekly recalls that on October 19, 2019, the CAC began free registration of 25,000 business names supported by the federal government as part of the federal government's post-COVID-19 pandemic survival intervention to support micro and small businesses to formalize their businesses. Under the arrangement, President Muhammadu Buhari approved the free registration of 6,606 business names in each of the 34 states, while Abia, Lagos, and Kano had 7,906, 9,084, and 8,406, respectively. While the definitions of micro business, small business, and medium business vary from country to country, Nigeria defines its micro, small, and medium enterprises, MSMEs, as enterprises having up to 250 employees. Micro enterprises have between 1 and 9 employees. Small enterprises have between 10 and 49 employees, and medium-sized enterprises have between 50 and 249 employees. Nigeria's Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment says Nigeria has over 37,073 MSMEs, accounting for 84% of the total jobs in the country, among other contributions to the economy. Lagos, Oyo, and Kano are believed to have the largest numbers of MSMEs. Well, we say a very big congratulations to the CAC family. We now move on to another record-breaking achievement for the Commission. Now, the Alhaji Garba Abubakar-led CAC is one of the agencies identified as building the block that will take the Nigerian public service to be among the first 20 in the world by the year 2025. The Director General of the Bureau of Public Service Reforms, BPSR, Dasuki Arabi, revealed this at a lunchtime seminar series organized by the Bureau in Abuja. Held at the Conference Hall, Engineering Building FCDA, the event was themed Current Reforms, Innovation and Challenges of the Corporate Affairs Commission on the Growth of the Nigerian Economy. Arabi described public service reform as a systematic intervention aimed at improving the structure, operations and procedures of the public service to enable its transformation, amongst others. He therefore noted with delight that the President Muhammadu Buhari's assent to CAMA 2020 on August 7, 2020 marked a significant development in Nigeria's business legislation regime. He further noted with satisfaction that in accordance with its earlier pledge, the CAC had by December 2021 effectively ended manual filing of documents and filing of annual returns.
May I wish to draw the attention of all of us here that corporate affairs is among the agencies we have identified that is building the block that will take Nigerian public service to be among the first 20 in the world by the year 2025. That is one of the reasons why we've asked them to come here, so that we hear what they have done and we give other agencies like this to learn from them, improve the quality of their their service delivery, and see how we can collectively move on the fortunes of Nigerians.
Arabi therefore stressed the need for greater cooperation and collaboration between government agencies to further engender far-reaching reforms for the benefit of the economy. In his remarks, the Registrar General and CEO of the Corporate Affairs Commission, CAC Alhaji Garba Abubakar, rolled out the evolution of the Commission from the 1961 Business Names Registration Act to the 1968 Companies Act, to the 1990 Companies and Allied Matters Act, and to the reenacted 2020 CAMA. Garba Abubakar said the Commission, which started the digitalization journey with electronic workflows in 2014, achieved full migration to a digital registry on January 3, 2021, after the ascent of CAMA 2020. He described the digital platforms as easier, cheaper, and storage-friendly, thereby ensuring ease of doing business. Garba Abubakar maintained that the Commission will continue to leverage on technology to continually improve its services.
Some were of the view that we should start on a clean slate. Don't move any information at all. Just take the name, the date of registration, and the registration number, and start on a clean slate. Then companies, as they update, then you begin to build the data. But the risk of doing that was strangers may take advantage of the gap and provide information for companies that didn't belong to them. Managing that crisis will be an issue. So we decided to check what we had. But we had to create a section that we call Special Projects Unit that is responsible for update. That unit has the highest number of staff amongst all the departments in the Commission. Their responsibility is to actually update. Customers have been given the opportunity to check the database. If the information about your company is not complete, send an email to spu@cac.gov.ng. They will pull out the file and update the information and notify you. So you will now be able to make your changes seamlessly. And that has been working, although because of the enormity of requests, the unit is overwhelmed, but we are adding more resources.
Speaking on the Commission's challenges, the CAC scribe stressed that paucity of funds was a major threat to the survival of its digitalization. During the event, sister agencies such as NIMASA, NEPC and CCB, amongst others, applauded the reform initiatives of the Commission and therefore called for more collaboration with the Commission to enable them to enhance their respective operations.
Citizenship and the beneficial ownership is indeed very important to us. So I am happy to note that we can relate with you in this regard and Nancy as well. I must also seize this opportunity to commend the CAC because I have, in the last few weeks, we had this discuss in my office where we wanted an information from CAC, and with my team, it was almost like, do you think we can seek this information? We're not paying for it. We wanted details of the company that we needed to unveil and see who the beneficial owners were. Then we took the bold step to write the Registrar General to oblige us with that information. And I must say that in less than 2 weeks, we got a response, which indeed shows that CAC is actually in line with the ease of doing business. So I commend you, sir, for all this reform.
Now, CAC Weekly reports that the event was hybrid and the Registrar General entertained both physical and online questions. The appearance by the Commission brought to a close the 2022 Lunchtime Series organized by the BPSR. We now shift gears to talk about a new form of business registration pursuant to CAMA 2020. Our esteemed viewers may recall that the Corporate Affairs Commission, CAC, commenced the registration of 2 new forms of business registration on the 31st of August 2021. The development followed the successful deployment of the online application for limited liability partnerships, LLPs, and limited partnerships, LPs. The Registrar General of the Corporate Affairs Commission, Alhaji Garba Abubakar, had earlier informed us that the LLP is a partnership arrangement with legal personality separate from the partners, and added that the liabilities of the partners of an LLP were limited to the amount agreed to be contributed or outstanding in the event of winding up. The Registrar General said an LLP shall have at least 2 designated partners who will be responsible for compliance with the requirement of the Act by the LLP. He added, however, that the designated partners shall be individuals, at least one of whom must be a resident of Nigeria. On the LP, the Registrar General described it as a partnership arrangement with at least 1 general partner and at least 1 limited partner. For more on the new arrangement, let's now go to our interview segment where Mr. Justin Nidia Birawal, the Director of Compliance, tells us all we need to know about limited partnerships, LPs. Enjoy watching this interview.
Mr. Justin Idiabaro, Director, Compliance, Corporate Affairs Commission. Good to have you on the program again, sir.
Thank you for having me.
All right. The limited liability partnership and the limited partnership are some of the innovations or the reforms of the CAMA 2020. I know we've talked about the LLP. Today we're going to be talking about the LP, that's the limited, partnership. Help us understand what a limited partnership is. Does it mean that it is just me, myself, and nobody else?
No, that's not the sense in which. Well, the limited partnership, we should always note, is basically a partnership. And by partnership, we mean a relationship that exists when two or more people come together for the purpose of running a business. So the only difference in this case with what we call the general partnership or the default partnership is that in this particular case, one of the partners will be required that his liability will be limited to the amount that he has invested in the business.
Okay.
While the other one will have unlimited liability.
Help us break it down. Two people want to register for partnership.
Yeah.
One is bringing 200, the other one is bringing 100. Is that what it means?
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
It's not tied to the amount of contribution.
Okay.
Yes,
So,
but the liability, it is assumed or it is required that one of the partners should be a general partner.
what do you mean by a general partner?
A general partner is regarded as the person who manages or runs
The
day-to-day affairs of the business.
Okay.
While the other one is considered as a silent
Okay.
or a sleeping partner.
Okay.
So his role...
He's nowhere to be found.
He is found, he exists somewhere, but he doesn't involve in the running of the business.
Can we say he's the big boss? He's just somewhere and he's the one who finances the business, so he doesn't need to be there.
Well, if what you have is that he should bring in the capital and the other person bring in what we call the sweat capital, that's the label.
Okay.
If that is what is understood, then fine.
Okay.
But one would be required to manage the business.
And the other one is silent.
And the other one is silent.
Okay.
His role is limited to the amount of money he contributed, money or other resources that he contributes in running the business.
Okay, so for instance, he invests 1 million.
Yes.
And then the business runs down. So what happens?
What it means is that he will not be required maybe to bring in money over and above the 1 million to pay the debts and liability of the business.
Okay, what about the active partner, the ones who...
Well, yeah, that is the one that will have unlimited liability.
Okay, so that one will pay more?
He will pay. And even his personal assets
will be seized.
Will be attached if there is a need for that.
But let's go to the thinking behind it. We have an LLP. Why have an LP again?
Well, basically, it's to give the members of the public several options from which to choose from. You can decide to go for a sole proprietorship. You can decide to go for limited liability partnership. You can decide to go for a limited liability company, whether private or public. So that is just the philosophy behind it.
Okay, inclusiveness.
Not necessarily inclusiveness, but that you could have a situation in which somebody has the expertise, but does have the financial resources.
Okay.
But somebody has the resources and doesn't want to be involved in the management of business because he's not an expert in that field.
Okay.
But the wider society benefits
more
from that business being floated and properly managed. So in such situation, the limited partnership recommends itself to such situations.
All right. What are some of its features? What makes it different from an LLP or a sole proprietor or a shareholder company?
Well, basically, the most outstanding feature you can see is that one of the partners has his liability limited to his capital contribution in the company, and also he doesn't involve himself in the management of the business. Yes.
Okay, this kind of business will be very attractive to civil servants, isn't it? Who are not required to do any other thing except, their main obligations of working for government. This will be very attractive to them. Those who have the money can invest and stay quiet, isn't it?
Yes, it will recommend itself not just for public servants, but for employees. For employees generally, whether in companies or in the public sector that may not have the time and are not allowed by law to also involve in management of business.
So what are some of the most outstanding benefits to the economy?
Well, like we said, one of it is
creating jobs.
The other one is also business diversification, like we have begin to say, that for instance, a road construction company, maybe somebody that has money but doesn't want to be involved in road construction can easily join with another person that might be
who has an expertise in road construction.
Not road construction this time around, but maybe providing chips.
Okay.
Providing stone chips.
Okay.
For the construction
company.
Construction company.
Okay.
So in that case, you could easily see that the chips will be used as input.
Okay.
In road construction.
Okay, but tell us some of the sectors that the law allows for this arrangement.
Generally, for all types of business except those that are considered sector-specific regulations.
Like which one and which
Like, for instance, you cannot talk of maybe a limited partnership in the financial sector, for insurance companies, for banks, for...
media is not included.
Media, it depends upon what type of media. Maybe if it is issue of marketing, you can do that. But
what about broadcast?
But I doubt much if it will be allowed
for broadcast.
For the broadcast industry, which is capital intensive.
So the whole idea of a partnership is not for a capital intensive business. Is that what you're saying? It's for a small business or a medium-sized business?
Usually, yes. That is the idea. The idea. But most often where you see quite a lot of them is in the area of professional callings.
Okay.
So you see a lot of them in law, in firms of chartered accountants and other professional areas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there is nothing that stops it from being applied to the general sector. Yes.
Okay, all right. So let's go. I'm seeing something called secession of business. It's very interesting when we see secession of countries or group. Now we're having secession of business. Tell us, how does it work here?
Well,
that's when the business ceases to exist.
Yes.
Is that the simple definition?
It's akin to what we call dissolution.
Okay.
Or winding up.
Oh, it's just another word.
It's just another word.
Okay.
For the reason that this particular business organization does not have legal entity or perpetual succession or legal personality.
Okay.
It is assumed that if the people are no longer interested in the business, what they need to do is to inform the commission that at certain date this business will come to an end. Yes.
Mr. Didier Johnston, I want to thank you very much indeed for your time. It's a very interesting concept.
Okay, thank you very much.
And that does it for this week's edition of the program CAC Weekly. We do hope you enjoyed watching. Remember, for comments and inquiries, you can please take advantage of our social media handles and our helplines. On Twitter, it is at CAC Nigeria 1. On Instagram and Facebook, it is Corporate Affairs Commission. Our email is cservice@cac.gov.ng. You could visit our website on www.cac.gov.ng. And our helplines are on the numbers 081-822-99016 or 081-822-98971, 090-874-01598 or 090-874-01599 and 090-874-01600. Do join us next week for yet another interesting edition of the program. Same time, same station. I am Amina Jibril, saying bye for now.